All right, guys, we're back with the series, the Commish thoughts. We're on episode 7. We're on me. Let's see. Let's see. This is gonna be a little weird considering I'm doing it on myself. Should have had someone else do it for me, huh? All right, we got coming out of the draft. We had Trey, Kawhi, Hero, Porzingis, Siakam, Mark Williams, Kyrie, J Huff, Keegan, Laurie, and Jordan Poole. Like, let's be honest. Looking at this team now, pretty win now. I thought it actually was a pretty win now team. Coming out of the keeper scenario, I didn't think I did a good job there. I was building around Trey and Hero. Coming out of the draft, knew I was going to keep Siakam, and then was hoping one of these guys would pop off and I would have a fourth. Which a lot of these guys have been good. A lot were bad. My team is a lot different than it was on draft day. Quick glance. I have 3 of these guys that I originally drafted. So we'll take a look at the team that I do have now. We have Amin, Jalen Green, OG, Kawhi, Nurkic, Bam, Embiid, Bane, Ace Bailey, Zion, who just got shipped away today, Mark Williams, and then Keegan. It's still, I mean, I've made a lot of moves this year. Still, like, I dealt with injuries early, like a lot of teams have. I was the definition of Ryan's team name Six Flags. I had flags everywhere, and it was like it's weird for me to just throw in the towel and not be competitive. Hold on, let me do that while I'm here. Um, so like I made trades to try to stay competitive, and it worked out. I have a winning record as of now. I've been high in power. I think the last 3 weeks, not counting this past week, but the 3 prior to that. I think I've made moves. I've done good for my upcoming draft as well. Um, I don't I'll talk about the contenders, pretenders. I think my team is a pretender just because I don't think Embiid and Kawhi will be healthy, stay healthy on a playoff run. Um, we'll have to see. I do think I will make playoffs with all the teams that are currently tanking. Um, I'm gonna look at these moves I've done, and I'll be completely honest with y'all. If I think I won or lost, I always like to critique the teams, so we'll do that. Moves I have made 39 moves um, this year, um, so that's definitely lower than Will and Ryan, a little more than Ian. Um, you know, Waiver wire. I mean, like I said, Dylan Brooks, man. Wish I still had Dylan Brooks. Um, Felt like I actually drafted some good guys in J Huff. J Huff ended up being a long-term hold there for Brett for a little bit. I don't think he's rostered anymore, but J Huff went on a nice little run. There's been a lot of good guys on the waiver wire that I've picked up and dropped as well. Um, but I mean, 39 moves, it is low. But when you look at my roster, it's just like, I don't know who I'm supposed to drop. Sort of also hinders a playoff run as well. Let's come over here and look at all the trades I've done. So we'll start off with me and Cody trading $3. Obviously, that's a trade. We've been over this one with Heath. Heath definitely won this. Moves up from the 7th to the 4th. Jalen Green's not played. Maybe back tonight. But yeah, move up. Trade again with Heath. 17 days later, I trade a first and a third and Porzingis and send $15 to Heath for Zion, a second and a fourth. This one made me a lot better. I'll tell you that this was okay, I want to be competitive. Zion moves into a keeper role, and I truthfully didn't move down too far in the draft. I traded my first and third, got Heath's second, which is going to be a top 4 in the second, and then I got my fourth back from Heath from the first trade I did with him. Like I said, that fourth has been swapped all over the place, but yeah, I like this trade for me, and I love it for Heath. I felt like this was a win-win trade for both. He gets a first and third, what he was looking for. I get a potential keeper and a healthy player that could help me be better. And then we move over to the big trade, the 3-way trade, the first ever in league history. We talked about this when we did Will's video. So Ryan sends, what does Ryan send? I don't even know what Ryan sends. He sends me Amen in his second, and I ship away Trey to Ryan. trying to figure out where all these draft picks go. I know I sent my 6th and 7th out. I know I get another 2nd from Will. I'm telling you, I talked about it on Will's. I won the Bam hero trade for now. And I also won the I'm in for Trey trade now as well. This trade was a big win for me because Trae Young's hardly played basketball this year. Hero's hardly played basketball. I got Amen and Bam, who's played pretty much the whole year. Hopefully they continue to do so. And I traded out of the 6th and 7th round for 2 seconds. So this was a big move for me. I get 2 keepers out of these guys. I trade 2 keepers, and I move up huge spots in the draft. So this one, especially with Trey and Hero being, injured this year, it was a huge win for me now. We'll see long term. We'll see if Amen can develop. And if Bam continues what he's doing, yeah, it's just going to be a win trade. Then we move up and we do a trade with Cali. The reason a lot of people are like, Cory, why'd you do this trade? Siakam has been balling. Siakam's been great. The reason I did this trade, man, Siakam got center eligibility now. I don't think he had that when he was with me. That's pretty nice. I think Siakam's a shutdown candidate this year, and I was trying to build a team to win this year. And yeah, so I sent Siakam away for a Bane who will be playing late in our season. He's on a contending team where Indiana is not trying to win games. Now, Siakam gets traded. Probably going to not like that thing. But I move up 2 rounds in the draft, pick up another 2nd. I'm hoarding seconds at this point. I'm doing completely the opposite of what Heath was doing. So, yeah. And then Vic's made it very clear. I think this trade is just cut down the middle. I win the draft. Cali wins a better player. If Siakam ends up getting benched later in the year for rest purposes, then yeah, I win this trade. But I mean, Siakam's a better player. Then we move to Vic trying to get rid of Joel. He kept asking for a 2nd. I'm over here with 5 seconds. So let me roll the dice. I don't really want to roll the dice considering I've been trying to have a healthy team. But I don't know. I just wanted Embiid. So I ship away to Laurie in a 2nd to get Embiid, OG, and a 5th. OG's not really been that good for me. So if you don't look at the trade as Laurie for OG, Vic wins that side, and then I grab Embiid for a 2nd. So Vic moves up 3 rounds in the draft, gets Ryan's 2nd rounder. I mean, yeah, I think Laurie's been great for Vic. Hopefully he's still out there balling. Yeah, I mean, 12, 13 rebounds, still shooting lights out. Yeah, I mean, he's almost shooting 50% from the field, 88% from the line, 37 from 3, 7.2 rebounds. Yeah, dude, Laurie's been great. So yeah, I feel like this was just another right down the middle trade, good for both. And then I traded today. Let's see. Hold on. It's not gonna be here. Pending. Here we go. And then the trade that happened earlier today. I shipped Zion in a 5th for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a 2nd, and $30. Obviously, I shopped around Zion pretty hard. A lot of y'all know that. But finally found them a home. Still in the middle of contending, not contending. I do think Alexander Walker helps. But obviously, I do lose the player trade. I go up in the draft 3 rounds. So back to having a lot of seconds again. Hey, shout out David, man. I think David can make a nice run with Zion, though. We'll see how this trade pans out for David, though. This is a big move for David trying to win this year. So we'll look at the draft picks as we usually do. So that trade's not went through yet. So just get rid of this 5th. I'll have 5 seconds, a 5th, and a 7th. So 0 in the first 14. I don't have a single pick in the first round, which does suck because there's some very good players in that first round. But when we come to the 2nd, yeah, here you go. Okay, lay down. Hold on, guys. You got your happy moon on? There you go, dude. But I do have 5 in the next 14. So 5 technically in the first 28. I think that ties me up with Heath. Yeah, Heath has 5 in the first 20. I'm just the complete opposite of Heath. Heath has 4 in the first 14. 5 in the first 28 for Heath. I have 5 in the first 28, but all mine will come in the 2nd round. And then I'll draft 2 drop slots in the 5th and 7th. That's the plan. I don't plan on doing anything else with draft picks. If there becomes an offer that lands me a 1st, then yeah, I just might. But as of right now, I like what I have going in the draft next year. I'll have David second. I have Will second, Heath second, which should be a top four pick. I have Callie second, my second. I think mine and Will's will probably be like 5 through 7 in the second round. We'll have to see where Callie's lands. I think David's will be a later second round pick. But yeah, I really like what I've done with my draft picks this year. Um, I do think I have a better team now, and I've managed to work myself up in the draft. The Jalen Green move was really bad. Um, I made some early trades early. Um, but yeah, I think I've recouped the team pretty well. It's a learning process for all of us. Like I said, I'm one of those teams that's done a lot of moves. I've tried to update this the most I have with everything that's happened. All right, dude, you got to chill back there. Um, but here, watch that. Um, I think I've got everything updated. I think I genuinely don't know. Um, no, I need to fix this. I need to fix this. Hold on. Keontae comes here now, and then quickly comes here. What? But I'm undecided on my fourth now. I might make it. Like I said, I don't want to trade any more of my draft picks or move up in the draft, but we'll see. I have to decide on a fourth. Like I said, I've got Ian situated, dropping Khalil Ware, and everything. But there's a lot of good people here. But I am officially now undecided on my fourth. Like I said, I don't have Callie keeping. I don't know who she's keeping. Um, but the first and second rounds will be loaded with lots of talent. But yeah, I mean, like I said, another one of those teams, sort of like Heath and them, that a lot of those teams that have done so many moves, it's hard to critique. Um, but I do think the team is better than it was on draft day. I've obviously got some hits, but you know, Dictator Cory here, getting on out of here. I guess. Hopefully this was a little bit long. Yeah, 12 minutes. That's good with me. Um, but yeah, you tell me what you think. I mean, it's y'all's really decision. What y'all think? You think we've done better over here? We've done worse. Um, I'll let y'all decide on this one because obviously I'm gonna be a little biased towards myself. But 5 seconds, I think that's really good moving in the next year. But the four keeper situation. I only got three right now. I mean, I have four, but I only have three real ones. If you were to ask me, hopefully to grab one in the draft next year in the second. But we'll see. Still got a few weeks for the trade deadline. But next up, who is next up? I'm not sure. I should have been a little more prepared. But we'll see you in the next one.